And at 8:45, it's time for a conversation with our Indiana County Commissioners. We are joined by Commissioner Robin Gorman at the moment, and hopefully we'll have the other two commissioners, Sherene Hess and Mike Keith, joining us. So as soon as they do, we'll get them on as well. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Robin, you got to carry the mantle here for a while, huh?
I'm going to try, Todd.
I thought I heard somebody else coming in.
Yeah. Good morning. There's my colleague, one of them.
Yeah.
Hi, Sherene.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Wonderful. It's good to have you both with us here today. Robin, let's start with you. I don't know exactly what you have planned to talk about today, but I wanted to get both of you, and if Mike joins us too, your reactions to the federal judge's ruling yesterday about Governor Wolf's pandemic restrictions and what that means to you from a county level. Robin?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Todd. I want to actually first start by saying what a great asset you and our hometown station are to our community, Todd. I listened to your interview this morning with Senator Pittman, also speaking to this issue. And again, I'm amazed at the common sense, the interest of our community. We certainly have a great team that includes you and your radio station, but all of our legislative leadership. I mean, they're just outstanding and they work so good with us. Speaking to the issue, I mean, obviously Senator Pittman hit it on the head. I mean, this was good news for us in the sense, but you know, Todd, one of the things that the Indiana County COVID Recovery Task Force and that involves our legislative team, the Emergency Management Agency, Tom Stutzman, our hospital, and a wide variety of other community partners broadly, the Chamber, the Tourist Bureau, our Planning Office, all of our school districts, higher ed, all the way down through secondary, as well as our borough and townships. And one of the most difficult things, obviously, for everyone has been following the rules, the guidelines, the legislation, or where it's in the courts and where it stands at any given time. And our community, I heard your interview with Mike Vukovic as well, and you hear a constant theme, and that is our local community has stepped up. They have tried so hard on every level to do all the right things, put their efforts into all of following these guidelines, changing at all times. But again, tying back into Joe's message, we have to remember where we started, and we have to remember how vigilant and good we are in keeping our numbers down. And so we're doing a good job trying to follow everything every day with all of the changes through COVID.
Sherene, let's get your reaction.
Yes. Hi. I did see that the judge's ruling, and I believe the Wolf administration will appeal it. I guess I would just like to say that, yes, it's been a very difficult time. There are some messages from the state that are difficult. There were times when we all were a little bit confused about what we were going to do, but to be honest, I did not read that decision. I did not hear Senator Pittman's interview this morning, but I do feel like we need to remain vigilant because Indiana is number 6 in the counties in Pennsylvania as far as an infection rate for cases, and we do have some things to be very concerned about. We are at risk of an outbreak. And while I don't think that means we need to shut down, I think we need to remain vigilant and do what we can as individuals and as local government to help people remain safe. And I think our business community is very serious about it. I've seen all the evidence that shows that they are willing to step up and protect their customers. And what business wouldn't want to do that? Wouldn't want to ensure that safety is top priority in their minds. Yeah. So I'm glad to see that our community is doing that.
You're absolutely
right.
But
we have huge. Our cases are increasing, and we've now seen them in our local schools, and so we need to remain vigilant.
One of the interesting things this morning is we debuted a new poll question at our website, wccsradio.com, and it's a simple question, a yes or no. Was a federal judge correct to strike down some of Governor Wolf's pandemic restrictions. And so we'll be watching this over the course of the next week to see what people really believe. Right now, 59% say yes, he was correct. 41% say no, but it just debuted, so we'll invite people to go ahead and do that. I don't know that Mike Keith is on with us yet. Mike, are you there? He is not. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about, but let's find out what you wanted to talk about. Sherene, let's keep it with you. What are some of the items that you would like folks to know about today?
Well, I was really pleased and very honored to be part of the celebration of the 2020 Trail of the Year, the Ghost Town Trail. It was a designation made by the state's Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Trails Advisory Committee. And Indiana and Cambria County have this gem of a trail, the Ghost Town Trail, which was it celebrated its 25th birthday, but work on it started many years before that, thanks to a group of very dedicated citizens, Laurie LaFontaine, for one, and the Kovalchik family, and, all sorts of local officials, Ed Patterson, our Director of Parks and Trails, and just many other individuals that have really come together. It's a great, illustrates how government and private citizens and just dedicated individuals can really work hard together to create something that beautifies our community and brings economic development to our community in terms, people from all over the country come to that trail. And it was a wonderful, wonderful day. And just like to give a shout out to all those people, our tourist bureau and our chamber and all the good folks who make parks and recreation a point of economic development and how good it is for our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. It is quite the asset. Would have been great if it was a normal year and we could have had the same type of celebration that they have every year with that. But you make the best of every situation, and we'll have plenty of opportunity to celebrate the Ghost Town Trail in some way or another.
Absolutely.
Robin Gorman, let's swing it back over to you. What are some of the issues that you see on your plate today?
You bet. I just want to bring to the attention, obviously, a lot of our residents are dealing with voting in the upcoming general election and all of the craziness around that as well. I'm sure they hear in the news every day. We're still following all of our county elections conduct that we should be doing under the Election Code of the Commonwealth. The last day to register to vote is October 19th. If you are applying for a mail-in application, the last day is October 27th. And if anyone, hearing all of the news is talking about when might I receive my ballot, particularly if you were a mail-in ballot, it's to be delivered early in October. So if you haven't gotten it yet, that is not a mistake. We continued to talk about early October. And again, Todd, if folks applied for a mail-in application during the primary, it just follows on to the general election that they would be getting a mail-in application in the general election early October as well. Mm-hmm. You can go to the county's website, or you can always go to www.votespa.com and find out how to apply for a mail-in application or to get any voter registration information. So that's a hot topic right now. Of course, another hot topic in the county offices is September is our budget hearing season for all of our directors and their agencies across the county. So we are doing our due diligence to do budgeting through a very abnormal year. So most times when we're looking for something to follow, we're looking back to 19 or 18, not in 2020.
Yeah, and next year when you're setting the budget, you don't want to look at what happened in 2020 either. That's
right. You got it.
This year is such an outlier. I'm sure, Sherene, you've been through some of these processes. Well, yeah, I know that you have, and setting a budget this year is as challenging as ever, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's definitely a year that we'll all remember, but it's not impossible, and we have very good people working on it. And I would like to say that the public are open to join us for any of our budget hearings. Those are public meetings, and if anyone's interested, just give us a call and we'll make those arrangements. But yeah, it's challenging, and you do not want to cut services if you can help it. So we are looking at every avenue that we can to trim our expenses and look at where revenues might be had that weren't at one time. And so it's all hands on deck kind of an operation.
When you say folks can attend, do you mean by Zoom?
Well, we can do by conference call or in person.
Oh, okay.
So if that's of interest, it's just because of the year. We would like folks to give us a call and let us know if they want to do that.
Yeah, I understand.
And we can talk about the schedule and which departments are coming up and so on.
Yeah, understandable. And of course, Robin was talking a couple of moments ago about mail-in ballots, and people are recommending that when you get that, you send it in right away. But if you haven't made up your mind yet, you still need more information before you decide what candidate you prefer. It's a good chance. Research what they're all about. And make up your mind and be sure you get your ballot in time. You want that thing to be counted, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yes,
just like the census, right? It's not over yet. So that's a good reminder, Todd. Again, they're on their last couple of weeks of really trying to hit this census hard, and it just on every level, as we've talked so many times before, and I know you've interviewed others. I think the message is out, but it's so very important to both our legislative district and our funding that comes to our county that everyone is counted.
Absolutely. Okay, so just a minute left with Commissioners Sherene Hess and Robin Gorman. Ladies, anything else we need folks to know about this morning?
Well, just that Indiana County continues to make investments in our local economies and in our nonprofits who support all the services that the county delivers. So even though it's an unusual year, we're doing our best to work with our federal and state partners to keep Indiana County moving forward.
Okay, that's a good note on which to end. Commissioner Robin Gorman, Commissioner Sherene Hess, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, and have a great day.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM and AM 1160.